Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I know I look weird right now because I only have eye makeup on, but today we're going to be reviewing probably the weirdest feeling beauty product tool I've ever touched in my life. This is the Jaclyn Co Microfiber Sponge. This has kind of been all over YouTube and I wanted to try it out, and I literally cannot stop touching it because it is probably the weirdest thing it feels like a little like fuzzy hamster. That's the best way I can describe this because it feels so strange. I wanted to film a video on this just because it's different and it's freaky in my opinion. It's very weird. And I don't know, I thought it'd be kind of fun to film and different. So we're basically going to be testing this out today. That is exactly why I have nothing on my face. So if you want to see this fuzzy little hamster sponge in action, then please keep on watching. Okay, so I zoomed you guys in a little bit. We are gonna go wet it and everything. It's completely dry right now. This is the size of it dry. It's pretty about the size of the palm of my hand. Like I said, this is from Jaclyn Co. This retails for $6 and it's currently sold out. The description says the first ever microfiber makeup sponge fuses together your favorite makeup tools, the beauty sponge and makeup brush. It's kind of weird because it is fuzzy. So it says the ultra soft dual layer sponge shaves you up to 50% of your makeup product and perfectly blends in everything. Okay, Taylor. Says how to use it wet it, squeeze it, stipple it. Perfect for liquid foundations, concealers, and contouring. Use it dry, it says dip it, tap it, and pat it. Perfect for powder, bronzers, blush, and highlights. I don't think I could use this dry. Like, it's very hard. It's not very soft whenever it's dry like other sponges. It has a very hard and dense center. Says it's an ultra soft layer, saves you 50% more of your makeup product. That's pretty much it. So it's just a microfiber sponge. So like I did say, it's about the size of the palm of my hand. So I'm gonna go wet it now. That way we can apply our foundation and concealer. Okay, so now that it has been wet, it kind of grew in size. I think it's a little bit fatter, but it's still kind of pretty small, and it is very dense on the center. Like, it is hard to squeeze. So this is gonna be kind of interesting. I am gonna go in with my NYX Honey Do Me Up primer. I'm still testing this bad boy out currently. Oh, it's so cold. So I'm basically just going to spread this out everywhere all over my skin. And then if you are wondering about the makeup look I have on my eyes, I used my basically 3 out of 4 Morphe Jaclyn palettes. This is the Armed and Gorgeous one. I did an individual video about each of them, and this is the second to last one I have to film, and then the last one is the Bling Boss, which is the purple one. And y'all gonna go watch this because this was hilarious. This is a I don't know if I can cuss on YouTube. I mean, I've seen people cuss, but I mean, it's a shit show if we're just gonna say it is. It's really bad. So that will probably be up before this. We'll kind of see and wait. Definitely just go check my channel if it's not. But the foundation we are going to be using is a foundation I love with a sponge. I love it so much with a sponge, and it's probably one of my favorite drugstore foundations. It's the Maybelline Dream Liquid Mousse Airbrush Finish Foundation. This is in 20 Classic Ivory. I know they like redid the packaging and all that recently, but I still have the old one just because I'm probably like 50% done with it and I really want to finish a foundation. So we are going to be using this guy today. So I'm going to put out 3 pumps on my hand, and I guess I'm going to use, I don't want to use the bottom because the bottom's like literally flat. So I think I'm going to use the side. This is so freaky on so many levels. That just looks weird. And I guess we're just going to start blending it in. Okay, that looks really freaky. That's what the little hairs look like on the sponge when there's foundation. It's almost like the foundation is just sitting there. I do have to say though, like right off the bat, that is giving me more coverage than a sponge does. Like my normal L'Oreal sponge, Real Techniques, you know, whichever one I decide to use. It's actually giving me better coverage because normally when I use a sponge with this, I can get pretty good medium coverage, but that's full coverage. Like I literally can't see anything underneath it. But I feel like it's not wet. Like you can't really feel the sponge that is wet. Like it doesn't feel wet. You know how when you're blending out your makeup with like an actual beauty sponge, you can kind of feel how the sponge is wet, and it definitely gives off coldness from the water. But this is like, it feels dry basically. But I mean, it definitely gave off really good coverage, I have to say. And it's kind of hard to tell if the foundation's sinking into the sponge, but it looks like it's just sitting on top. So I'm going to apply just a little bit more of the foundation. I feel like I'm still using the same amount of product though. Like, that really hasn't changed. Okay, I think we're going to be done there for foundation. I want to do concealer also with this. I feel like that foundation oxidized just a little bit, so I'm going to go with some of my Kat Von D concealer in L5 Neutral. This is like hella light, so it'll help to tone down the foundation a little bit. And I'll be curious on how the sponge works on this concealer, because this concealer is a lot more thicker. Oh, okay. So I definitely feel like it doesn't soak up product, because that amount of concealer I normally put down with a sponge, and I can only blend it out on one eye and be okay, but I feel like I need to disperse it because the sponge doesn't really pick up much product. But it blended out the concealer pretty well actually. So I'm going to put just a little bit more on this side. I kind of like the feel of this sponge. Like, it feels really weird. You can definitely feel like the little fibers on your skin. So if you're not a fan of that, definitely would not get this. But it feels really weird because it's not cold or anything or wet. It feels very dry. Almost like I never even wet the sponge. Okay, well, I have to say though, like, overall, my makeup looks pretty dang seamless right now. So here is an up close of my skin with the foundation and concealer on, blended out with that hair sponge thing. I have to say though, it looks pretty dang good. Like, it looks really smooth. You definitely have to go in with less product than you normally do though, especially concealer wise, but it looks really good. I think I'm gonna go finish the rest of my face makeup, and then I will do a last check-in. Okay, so now that my face makeup is done, I have to say I kind of like this. It's weird, but I kind of like it. And I also want to see how it washes with like my normal, sponge cleanser, because I use like the Beauty Blender Solid. I really like that to clean my sponges. So I'm curious to see how this cleans, but I really like the way my skin looks with that sponge. I feel like it blended out really easily. And I also think it didn't soak up very much product. I was able to get a really good full coverage look. And I normally don't go for full coverage. I normally like the more medium coverages, but this is pretty full coverage right here. So I actually think I like it, and I'm gonna continue using it off camera, but I really like it. It's different and it's freaky. I think that's why it's just weird. But I will list this exact one down below, and I will try to see if I can find any other ones that are microfiber on Amazon or something, because I know this one's currently sold out. So I will try to provide other options for y'all. But I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Bye, y'all.